Hi guys! My name is Olivia Milana. I don't know if you found this video because you watch our daily vlogs at Meet the Milanas, but I decided to do an aside video just to kind of give you guys some insight to my experience with breastfeeding. And as you probably have noticed, I am a plus size girl. There's no shame in it, just being upfront about it. And I think maybe this video could be informative to moms out there that are plus size that kind of have that concern that maybe their voluptuous bosoms may hinder their breastfeeding experience. Trust me, your little one is not going to suffocate with your lovely bazongas. It's not going to happen. I'm going to give you guys a couple tips about my experience, so maybe that can motivate you if you're out there and you are scared about breastfeeding and, you know, how your body plays into that because you aren't, you know, the average bear. To start, I decided to give you guys a little bit of insight to my journey with Talia when we were breastfeeding. So about me. My daughter and I, Talia, have been breastfeeding for 11 months. And that means exclusively breastfed. I haven't supplemented with formula in any way. And it's been going great. There have been times where it's been trying just like any other breastfeeding mom, but for the most part, we've been really, really fortunate and lucky that it's worked out. Disclaimer, everybody's gonna have their own story. There are women that can't breastfeed for whatever reason. I got the lottery and it worked out for me. If it doesn't work for you, please talk to your doctor and see if there are other options for you, or for whatever reason you want a formula feed, go for it. Fed is best. Totally my mantra. Oh, by the way, excuse the noise in the background. Little thing is playing on the ground right here, and she's kind of pulling her books off the shelf and everything. I'll show her a little bit later in the video, but if you hear like rumbles and like little coos and ahs down there, that's what it is. So initially, she was actually in the NICU for the first couple days. It was nothing serious. It simply was, she was a C-section baby and she had a little bit of extra fluid. I was really scared that we weren't going to be able to breastfeed naturally like other moms who have their baby and their babies don't end up in the NICU. But believe it or not, it was all great. It all worked out. I had a phenomenal lactation consultant at the hospital and she gave me so much confidence from the very first day. I was an emotional mess. The afternoon that I gave birth, she came in the room. She immediately got me on the hospital grade pump. She talked to me about it. She motivated me. She was like, you can do this. It's no different than any other experience. It's going to be fantastic. And you know what? It has been. And she was that breath of fresh air that I needed to keep me going. So I believe it was the second day I started getting drops of colostrum coming out, which was phenomenal. We actually extracted it with like a little bit of like a plunger, like a tiny one that you would feed medicine to a baby with. And whatever we got, we would run over the NICU and we would give it to her. So that was great. The day we got home, my milk came in and we were able to go full throttle. And it's been great ever since. I have had my challenges like other moms have, but nothing that I can really complain about. Breastfeeding is really hard. It's trying. It can be really difficult, but once you get the hang of it, you'll never go back. To the tips. Okay, so tip 1, positioning. There's a lot of things that are going to be comfortable for you and maybe not so comfortable for you. You're going to have to feel your way through it. I am a rather well-endowed woman. And there were some positions when I initially tried that actually kind of freaked me out. I couldn't see that her air passage was clear. So I tried different positions that made me feel comfortable and know that she was breathing. The first position I tried was actually the side hold. Some people call it the football hold. You place the baby in this arm or this arm and you put them along your side. And you can tilt and control their head with your hand. You can tilt it up towards the breast. That way their nasal passages are completely open and you have complete control. I found this easier because when I had her underneath initially with a cross cradle hold, I couldn't see her face. She was so little and my boobs were so big. It scared the living bejesus out of me. You could definitely find more information about this if you Google it, but I believe it's traditionally called the side hold or the football hold. Another position that really worked for me in the beginning was the side laying position. Now it did take a little bit of practice, just because it's just a weird situation when you have a newborn and they're still kind of curled up. But that position is really relaxing and it was really nice, and I just felt so confident with it because it wasn't more of the gravity of my boobs falling onto her face. It was more of the gravity pulling my boobs to the side of the bed, and she had clear access to my nipple. So that's a great position to try as well. The key about that position is making sure you're tummy to tummy. So whenever her belly button is touching your belly button, that's great. It doesn't have to exactly touch your belly button, but as long as your tummies are touching, her head will naturally pop out. Okay, so next tip helped me in the beginning so much before she had head control. So I'm talking about maybe the first 3 months. You're gonna get a lot of these at your baby shower. They're baby muslins. They're fantastic for swaddling and burpee cloths, nursing covers. There's a million things you could use these for. But my favorite was using them for breastfeeding. So I would take the muslin. You can even use a traditional burping cloth. Doesn't have to be muslin. Muslin is fancy. I know it's trendy. It's like the thing now, but you know, it's what I had. And I would roll it up like this. I would place it, I would lift my breast and I would place it underneath just to give my puppies a little jump, we're gonna bring them up to the penthouse. I would stick it under there. It would usually stay. It always stayed. Homegirls are gonna need a little rejuvenation after I'm done with babies, but that's a different story in a different video and a different before and after. We would take the roll-up muslin, I'd pop it under the sucker, and then I would get her on. It was a little bit easier because I had direct vision of my nipple at all times. And when I would put her on my boob, we had a little lift and she was higher up on my chest, which gave me greater control. Always keep these in your diaper bag. You never know when you're going to need them for something. Either they're going to spill something all over the car, all over themselves. You need a light blanket. There's a million uses for these. I have a quadrillion. Okay, and my final tip is about nursing in public. I was terrified to nurse in public. I didn't know what I was going to do the moment she needed to eat in public. And it's nothing against not wanting to show my breasts in public. They're for food, in my eyes. I didn't know how I was going to logistically pull my boob out. I always felt when I was breastfeeding early on that I didn't have enough hands. Like I needed to become an octopus. Like how am I going to hold the baby? How am I going to pull my boob out? How am I going to make sure I get my nipple in her mouth? How am I going to like shove Diet Coke in my mouth? Like I didn't know how I was going to do everything. The reason I'm showing you these two nursing covers is because these nursing covers kind of give you the most elbow room because you're going to need a little bit more if you're well endowed. You're going to need to kind of adjust things and get them out, use your elbows, and really work the space. If you use the apron front, it can be tough because someone could totally catch a peek from the sides and you'll just feel like cold breezes coming in and that's just, maybe you're comfortable with that, but I was not, and that's why I didn't really like them. I also tried to use muslins over my shoulder at first, which worked until she started getting a little loopy. I started with a nursing cover that looked like this. As you can see, it's a large scarf. It would be an infinity scarf or a funnel scarf if you buttoned it together. And I started with this as a nursing cover. This worked okay for me. And like I said before, everybody's going to have their own opinions about a lot of these items. These are just my personal tips. And this worked okay for me. The only thing I didn't like about it was I just felt like it was so loose because it's a perfect cylinder once you button it. There's no difference between the top and the bottom. It's just straight lines. This would slide off my shoulders a little bit while I was nursing her. So if I were to wear it to nurse, I would put it on a little like this. Okay, so this would be over us, and then she would be underneath. You know what? I'm actually just gonna show you an example. Okay, so to give you an example of how these nursing covers work, I grabbed Talia, and she's in my lap right now, and she is latched. So this is me using the snap cover, the infinity scarf that snaps together. So the problem, as you can see from this one, the reason I don't like it that much is it gives me way too much room on the top. I just don't feel like protected, especially when your little one starts flailing like this one is. when I'm wearing this cover. It's just too loose. I feel like things could fly out. One nice breeze could bring this down and everybody could see my goods. I'm not as happy with this nursing cover as I am with the next one I'm about to show you. So the next one I'm going to show you is this nursing cover by Copper Pearl. I love this nursing cover. It's actually a 5-in-1 cover. This is great. It works as a car seat cover. This is also phenomenal. It works as a cart cover, a high chair cover. There's a blanket. There's so many things that this can be used for. But my favorite is nursing. It is shaped a little bit differently than the last one I showed you. It's not a perfect cylinder. It is tapered where the shoulders go, and the neckline is a little bit smaller, which is exactly what I complained about in the last nursing cover. It's really soft, and I have 2 of them, and I love them. So the way this one works, you just pop it over your head, boop, and you can wear it like a scarf. And when you're ready to nurse, and you're ready to pop the baby on, oh look, she even knows that it's time. So you take the nursing cover, you slide it over baby. I like to put her completely underneath. It's just a comfort thing for me. I get my shoulders and my elbows in. We're all tucked in. Now it's like she's in a little baby hammock. And then I latch her on. Now as you can see, this one is a little bit more elastic and it is tighter around the neckline. So she would have to pull down to expose anything. It's like she's in the underneath. Wait, the upside down. Wait, I love that show and I didn't even quote it right. So I hope this video has been informative for you guys. I hope that someone out there who's looking for this information finds it. I hope that someone out there that's struggling with breastfeeding finds it. And just know that you're not alone. It is the hardest thing I have ever done. It's also been the most rewarding thing I have ever done. Talia has been in the 90th percentile almost the entire time, and I don't want to say that that's all breastfeeding, but I think it's been a benefiting factor because she has been so healthy. And if you're out there and you are struggling, just know I'm here with you. Feel free to tweet me on Twitter, reach out to us in the bottom comment section of this video, or even go to my blog at oliviamilana.com. I'll be sharing more breastfeeding journey tips along the way. Like and subscribe to our channel if you like videos like this. Leave a comment below. The great thing about this aside video is you're getting this video as well as our daily vlog today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We will see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey Daniel, can you stop recording because I'm feeding her and I can't get up. I hope that that's a good video.